Hey, board gamers, BJ from Board Game Gumbo here, back with another episode of Gumbo Live. It's episode number 58. It's the number one Facebook Live talk show dedicated to board gaming. Our special guest tonight, Jeremy, the Game Geek Ninja, is back in the house, ready to gloat about a weekend where he beat me in every single game over and over and over again. Gumbo Live is a proud member of Punchboard Media. Punchboard Media, check out our other fine members like the Draft Mechanic Podcast. Jake and Danielle Bach have a podcast about beer and board games and anything they can do to tie them all together. Punchboard Media, where we all bring something to the table. Hit me up on social media tonight, on Twitter at BoardGameGumbo or on Facebook.com/BoardGameGumbo, and we'll be looking for your questions in the chat. But enough blather, let's get to our guest. Ninja, back in the house, man. Welcome back to Gumbo Live.
Hey, what's up?
What's going on, Ninja? So, I don't know who would know you because you've been on the show a couple of times, but give us the quick pitch. What is Game Geek Ninja, and why do you win so much?
I don't win so much. I just beat you.
Yeah, that's it. You beat me.
Yeah, all my friends would say that I don't win that much, so it's completely fine. I'm a children's librarian by day, but I play games and talk about games constantly. And I think we came up with emissary or some kind of word like that. I think you used evangelist, but
evangelist. That's right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I talk about games. I like games. I help people with games at work and online. I do reviews, and I'm even on some eventually. So got my hands in all the little places.
I got a picture of your website up there right now for the viewers. Game Geek Ninja. You do reviews. You do, lots of different blog posts. So anybody gets a chance, check that out. Hey, that's Marshall Wells checking in from the Sinlaw group. He says, "Hey guys, Marshall, we got a big show tonight, man. We're going to be talking about BGG Con. We're going to be talking about the games of the year for Gateway and filler games, and we got a special Jambalaya. Here's why it is special." Because Steve O'Rourke had nothing to do with this one. He's actually going to be competing with you, Ninja.
Excellent.
That's going to be a tough one. Oh, and there's Bill Lassick checking in. He says, "Respect for the librarians."
Yes, you must respect all librarians. It's important.
All right, so BGG Con. Ninja, I don't remember. Is this your first or you've been there before?
No, that was my first. Your first too, right?
My very first of any of the BGG. Yeah.
Yeah.
What were your overall impressions?
I liked it. It was much more relaxed. I didn't feel like I was always running around like Gen Con or even Origins was a little more frantic, but Gen Con's just crazy. And so BGG Con, I just was sitting around playing games, and I always felt like I could find my friends and hang out with them for a while. I bounced between your group and my other 2 or 3 groups, and I was always playing games, talking to people about games, or just hanging out. It was a lot of fun.
Bill, this is the week you get to redeem yourself with the Jambalaya game. I actually crafted the answers and the hints, and I'm a lot easier than Steve O'Rourke. So, but you're going to be competing against Ninja and against Steve and against Chris and Strain. So, Bill, you got your work cut out for you today. Yeah, back to BGG.
I plan to lose that anyway, so you know.
You're a gracious guest. Thank you, Ninja. So,
exactly.
Yeah, like you said, one of the cool things I liked about BGG Con is at Gen Con, you and I do hang out a lot at Gen Con, but that's because we work at it. I mean, we're texting each other, we're making plans. Other than that, I might see somebody once and not see him again the entire con. At BGG Con, I mean, you go down to the escalator, or to the stairs or the elevator, and there's the same person you saw an hour ago. You know?
Yeah. And the good thing, this is the first con that I've actually been in the hotel, which made a huge difference. But I didn't. I was up and down. I could go to my room, drop something off. So that was, to me, a lot better. I've never had that happen. I've never gotten in. But because of that, I had like 4 people staying on my floor. So
I was in this. You and Dave Dugas also had a room up there, and I use Dave's room every once in a while. But boy, that is so nice to have a room where you can just scoot up, drop off some of your stuff, maybe even sack out for 30 minutes, take a little quick nap. I can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you needed a break. So yeah, that's BGG Con. I recommend it to anybody. Now they're moving downtown for the fall. They're staying there for the spring at the airport hotel. What did you think about the whole airport hotel situation?
I'll be happy that they move it. Do what?
You flew or drove?
No, I had to fly into that one. So I never went. I went outside the hotel once the entire weekend.
Okay.
So I think I'll like it more downtown because there'll be more food options and things like that. We ate all sorts of hotel food.
Man, you and I ate chicken fingers. We split that chicken fingers every single day.
Well,
That was my lunch.
It was much easier.
It was.
Yeah, I think it'll be better downtown because that BGG Con there sits in that one hotel that's like an island to itself, and you can't get out of there unless you drive, and it's completely confusing. So, yeah, I'll be happy when it moves, but I did not like it. I just spent most of my time there instead of going somewhere else.
Yeah, my one complaint would be that you were limited to really one restaurant that served good food, and I liked it actually. The flatbread pizzas were fantastic, but and the buffet I heard was really good too. But
Yeah.
as for just like pickup food, holy cow, that was rough, man. You just had that one spot. The people were very friendly, but the food was just, I mean, it was stadium food basically.
Yeah.
That was rough.
Sure.
It'd be nice to be able to get out to like a downtown area where you can walk around and get something like that,
And I went out once and we had grilled cheese, but it wasn't. It
You
wasn't
went to one of those
phenomenal.
melt type places?
No, it was just straight up a grilled cheese. It was kind of weird, but I went with 3 new people that I had just met, so it was a nice experience. But there's a lot more in Indianapolis and even in Columbus for you to go to and get. So I like it better there. But like I said, there weren't the crowds. You could see everybody you wanted to see, meet a lot of whole new people. So it was a lot of fun.
Eric Batson checking in. What's up, BJ and Jeremy? Hey, what's up, Eric? Thanks for coming in. He posts a lot, so it's nice to see him checking in on the show.
He's in my gaming group.
Oh, okay. Well, that works out.
Yeah, I lose to him all the time.
Well, then you can see, Eric, where I rank on this list because I'm definitely below that. And we might as well move on to that. So BGG Con overall impressions. Now let's talk about what happened on the con. So the con starts on Wednesday. That was my best day for gaming because I didn't start working for Cosmos until Thursday. So
Right.
Wednesday I got a lot of games in. You too?
Yeah, I played a lot of games with people that I'd never met before. A guy named Daniel from Australia. He comes to the States one time a year, and that's for BGG Con.
Wow.
And I played a couple of games with him that I'd never played before. Met some new people on Wednesday and just kind of chilled out. Mostly in the rooms upstairs more than down on the floor until Thursday and Friday.
Bill's talking about PAX U. What's great about it being right next to what they call the terminal market with dozens and dozens of food areas, sort of like that place you've told me about privately with Origins has that marketplace right next to
North Market or whatever it's called.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, Bill, that's something I want to check out. I know that what's his name? Jake from the Draft Mechanic podcast was talking a lot about how he couldn't get over how good the food in Philly is. So, and that's important to me. So Ninja, man, we're gonna have to make a trip sometime for PAX.
Well, I've just got to, get my daughter grown up a little bit before I go out again.
a little bit more. That's right. Yeah. Bill has the same. That's why Bill doesn't go down to BGG. He's got kids the same age or around that same age. So yeah. So let's talk about the game. So on Wednesday was my first day. First game that I played with the crew was Victorian Masterminds. But then I finally caught you on Wednesday night, I think it was, and we started grabbing some games. Or was that Thursday? Wednesday?
It may have been Thursday, but I think was Estates the first one we played?
I think the first one we played was the Estates, and I think I got a picture of it here. Let me see if I can find the picture. And so the Estates, had you played that before, or was that your first time playing it with us?
No, the first time we played it before was with you, and then I played it 2 more times while I was there. So I got 3 plays in of that one at BGG Con because it's just so evil.
Yeah, and there's a picture of that you took actually of one of your later games. It wasn't the one that we played with the Estates. Yeah, so actually you and I played a 2-player game at first, if I remember right. We tried to learn it, and then we taught it to another group. We taught it to the crew, Bradley and Carlos, and I think Dave. Dave, that was not the only time, but I think that was one of the times Dave was going to flip the table by the middle of that game.
No, City of Gears was where he really flipped the table, but no big deal.
You got close in the Estates. So somebody checking in for you. Alice Davis says, "Hey, Jeremy, how are those tater tot tacos?"
Taco tots.
Am I reading that right? Taco tots?
Taco tots. He's got a recipe where you put taco seasoning in tots, shake it up and cook it, and it's fantastic.
I love it.
Alice
And
is a she's a designer in up in Portland. I think it's Portland. Anyway, she's got a great new game coming out that
okay.
did on Kickstarter. So
Hey,
she's
throw it out. What's the name of the game? Alice, throw it out there. We'll broadcast it out if you've played it. Do you remember the name? No.
yeah. Give me a minute.
Yeah, Alice might
my brain is
send it out
scratched.
there.
Alice will put it on there.
And Steve O'Rourke says, don't forget about Chinatown right next door. Eric Buscemi was talking to Jake on the Draft Mechanic podcast, how they went down to Chinatown and had some of the best food up there in Philly. I'm gonna have to get to Philly at some point. So
yeah, Carla was saying it was a great time too. And I had another friend from the library who said it was great. So that might be my next one.
Give people the quick pitch on the Estates.
It's mean and evil. You're basically creating buildings on these lots, and you the first cube that you play, like if you play the first blue cube of the game, you get basic control of the blue. If you play the yellow, you get control of the yellow, and there's 5 different colors. And then whoever's cube is on top is who controls that whole building, and you score that whole building. But if you finish out the rows, the game ends when you finish 2 rows or you run out of cubes.
Right.
So you can either finish 2 rows and those score positively, and the third one scores negatively, or if you play like in a game that we played later on, none of them scored.
What? Not one of them finished?
Yeah, it was great.
Oh man, that would be rough. Yeah, so that's the conceit of the game, that you can keep extending the streets out, because when the game ends, if that street is not complete, it's negative points. Right. And there's some really nasty infighting, because the other cool mechanic in the game is that you can only pick blocks that are exposed on the ends of those rows. So people are eyeballing those last 2 or 3 blocks, going, I'm going to leave that open and keep extending that street over. And you and I, in that 5-player game we had, there was a dogfight for those what do they call them, the not traffic cones, they call them permits. Those permits, there was an absolute dogfight for them.
If you look at the picture that you had up, that last one, we kept extending it out so no one would score that last row, and it was just evil. And then I put a mayor on that one, which doubles the negative score.
And the black things on top are the rooftop scoring, right?
Right.
So that's like a bonus point, if I remember right.
It finishes off the building, so it can't build any higher.
And it's also a bonus point, right?
Yeah, and you have to build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right?
Yep. Yeah. You got to build them in order, if I remember right. So yeah, that is the Estates. Great game from Capstone Games. We had a blast. I got to play it twice with you. I saw it being played all over the con. That was really popular. It was everywhere. That was really popular. So after the Estates, BJ from More Game Gumbo, I've got my guest, the Game Geek Ninja, Jeremy Davis here. We're talking BGG Con games. I think after the Estates, you and I played, was it Betrayal at Baldur's Gate?
Yeah, because I think Bradley wanted to play that one, and Carlos, they really wanted to play that one badly, so we set in on that one.
Yeah, and I think the other reason is that Alex Goldsmith, who came in and played with us, he had played the base version of it, the regular Betrayal, and in fact, all of us had, but neither one of us had ever played the Baldur's Gate version. So
yeah, I hadn't played it either.
Oh, you hadn't played it either. Okay, so let's throw that game up there and get it played. And I'll be honest, Betrayal is not my favorite game. Right. I've had some trouble with some bad haunts, or not the right group to play with. I think it's a really group-dependent game. But Baldur's Gate, I don't know if it's because of the theme or it's because it was probably the group. I mean, we really had a super fun group just going after it and having a blast. As you know, Alex Goldsmith is awesome to play with.
Yeah, a lot of fun.
So everybody was into their characters. Everybody was, doing a little bit of take that, but still trying to be cooperative, but still keeping an eye on the haunt. And the whole time while we're spreading out and keeping an eye on each other, we didn't realize that the haunt was going to be a cooperative haunt, right, Jeremy?
Yeah, and that happens every once in a while in the base game. But I was hoping that one of us would be the traitor, because that's a lot more fun usually. But it was a lot of fun because I had that one power that I could just blow up the whole room. So I was waiting the whole game to use it. And then I finally did, so it was ridiculous.
And what was so much fun at the end, all 5 of us actually did something to try to get that. Was it like a witch or a warlock that we were trying to get to the exit?
Yeah, we had to work together to do it, and everybody contributed. That was a lot of fun.
One of the things I've never seen happen before is, man, that may have been the Keystone Cops of all of the baddies that I've ever seen in any board game. Those guys rolled the worst rolls over and over and over.
Yeah, it was like I was rolling the dice.
Yeah, so that kind of lifted my spirits up a little bit about that Betrayal game. I would definitely play the Baldur's Gate versions. I like the D&D theme. I'm not so much into the haunted house theme, but I like the D&D theme, and of course, I think it's group dependent. So I would definitely play with you guys. What did you think?
I liked it. I'd be interested to see what they do with the legacy version, which has just come out, because in that one the characters aren't. The characters don't actually progress. The house is what changes. And your characters, I think, if I read it right, are different generations of the same family or the same people who exist in the house. And then the house itself makes changes, which continue on through the next games. So it's an interesting turn on a legacy. Patrick
Hillier is checking in. Hey, man. Hey, Patrick, thanks for checking in. He says Betrayal Legacy has been getting some positive buzz. And, I got to talk to Rob Davio, and he gave us a bunch. If you get to go back to that episode, he really dove deep into how Betrayal Legacy came about. And it's super interesting. It's one I would be willing to play if somebody bought a copy. I don't think I would buy a copy, but I would definitely play it with somebody.
Yeah, our legacy games, we've been getting less and less too, but it just takes so long to get the same group together, and we play so many new games that it just takes a while. We've been stuck on Charterstone. I think we're on like the third game, and I don't even know when we're going to get back to it.
We're on game 6, so yeah. we got to finish that out. But the guy that was with us is also a part-time professor. So once school started, he was kind of out, but now that school's finished, hopefully we can finish that up. We may just try to binge it for a weekend and get it done. So Alice did check back in. She said the game is Thieves' Den, Jeremy.
Yep. There you go.
And also maybe a game called Dinos Not Assembled.
She's got another one. It's a dino game she made, I think, with her son. But I'm not sure that one's out on, that one may not be out on Kickstarter yet, but I know it's coming.
Kitten Clash, Thieves' Den, and Dinos Not Assembled.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Got to check those out. Thank you for watching there, Alice. All right. So we talked about the estates. We talked about Betrayal of Baldur's Gate. And then you and I kind of split up from the group because there were some games you and I wanted to play. Oh, actually, I forgot about another game that you beat me in. I got to put that down on here. I'm trying to find one that I actually won with you, and I don't think I got one. You and I played Catch the Moon.
Yeah. Did I win that one?
We played it twice, if you remember right, and we really kind of just played it for fun. We were taking the tiers, but we got to the point where I don't know if we were actually trying to win. We were more just trying to create an outlandish sculpture with all the ladders.
Yeah, I played that one several times. I played it with Eric, who never loses that game. So Eric Yurko, and he just stomped me. It was pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the picture of it. There was for the most part, at first we were really serious about trying to score the tiers against each other and trying to get all of the pieces on. But by the end, I was really just trying to get this. This is one. This must be the play. No, that is me and you. Okay, so that is me and you playing.
Yeah,
that's Catch the Moon. So Catch the Moon. The quick pitch on Catch the Moon is easy. It's roll a dice, and whatever the die says, that's the configuration of a ladder that you try to connect to this big pile of ladders on a cloud. And as long as none of the ladders fall off or touch the cloud, you're safe and you don't get the cloud's tiers. But if you do knock the ladders off, you get the cloud's tiers, and the one who has the most amount of tiers loses the game, which makes sense, right?
Yeah, of course.
Is that a game you...
Clouds are crying.
Clouds are crying, right. Is that a game you'd own? Is that a game you'd want to buy?
It's one that I hope to get, and not necessarily just for me to play, but it's one that I think I could teach people, and especially just intro games. I mean, people who know what Jenga is understand the concept real quick. So I think that even if
I'm shaking my head because Patrick has another one. It's a trick taker or a ladder climbing game. Yeah, very nice, Patrick. Go ahead, Ninja.
But that's one of the ones that I think I can take to like our library convention, and have a lot of people play. And once it's got a nice table presence, once you see it, you want to see what's going on with it and play it afterwards.
It does. It's a perfect game. And I need to try to get it before our Southern Board Game Fest, because that's one of those games that you set up on the gateway area and
Mhm.
people are going to walk by and go, "What's?" Making sure. Yeah, you
Yeah.
kind of disappeared there for a second, but we're talking spicy games of BGG Con. We talked about the Estates, Betrayal of Baldur's Gate, and Catch the Moon. The last one we really didn't score up, but the next one, that's one that Alex taught you and I, and that was City of Gears, which I had been anxiously awaiting. I finally got my copy, and I think you kickstarted it too. Is that right?
No, I missed that one. But I'll play it again.
So what'd you think of City of Gears?
I liked it. I like it better actually at 2 players. That was my favorite play, was when me and you were playing, because I had longer to build up my little engine of doing things. And when I played it at 3 and 4, it was a little it was over before I was ready for it to be. So and that's when Dave was not happy with the game.
Oh, that's right. You did play it afterwards. You and Dave, and who else was it?
It was Bradley and a girl named Jennifer, who just happened by while we were setting up. So, but as she just kept killing all Dave's guys and his little meeples, and
She was using the zaps to take him out.
Oh, she was zapping him left and right, and he did not like that at all.
So I taught my wife this game, and Alex and I were texting back and forth to each other about whether she liked it or not. I'll tell you, the first half of the game she hated, because I wasn't trying to be aggressive, but every once in a while I'd use a zap and take one of hers out. And then she finally figured out how to use the zaps. I'll tell you this. So City of Gears, the first half of the game, even when I played with you, it didn't feel as intuitive as I thought it would be. It was a little bit harder to get into than I expected. I kind of expected, based on Tom Vassel's declarations, that it was going to be one of these pretty easy gateway type games. And it's a little bit more complicated, a little bit more in-depth than that. That being said, the second half of the game, once you figure it out, it's a blast.
Yeah. And the thing about this one is, if you don't like Take That, this probably isn't for you, because you're going to get your robots zapped. You're going to get your gears moved. You're just going to have your game changed by the other players, because it's such a small board. And it's got the interesting timing mechanism that once you flip all of the tiles over, you put these 4 white cogs in the bag, and when the third one comes out, game's immediately over. So it's an interesting game, but it's very dependent upon other players. If you're looking to do your own thing and just kick back, you're going to be interrupted. You're going to get your game changed from turn to turn.
Luke played it. Steve's buddy Luke played it at PAX U, if I remember right, and he said it was a lot of fun, more fun than I anticipated. So after the game, like I said, my wife pretty butthurt for the first half of the game. She finally started grokking it, and then she's, just constantly zapping my robots. I had kind of built up an engine at that point, so I was able to withstand it. And that's one of the secrets, I think, to this game. The first time you play it, you think, oh, it's a race to develop the city, but it's not.
Right.
It's a race to get the engine to score points while the city's being built. Don't sacrifice your game just to score 2 development points.
Right.
Because that's not the key to winning. There I was when you and I were playing. I'm trying to flip over all the tiles because I thought that's the game. And you were sitting back just saying, I want this tile, and this tile to match up. And you had that nice engine going. So once she figured that out, at the end of the game, she came to me and she said, next Thursday, let's play it again. So that's always a good sign that she wants to try it again.
Yeah.
Patrick says, who did City of Gears? It's Gray Fox Games, and it's a game designed by Chris Leader and
Daryl Andrews.
Daryl Andrews. Yeah, that's right. A game that had been sitting around since 2012. Daryl Andrews came in, kind of spiced it up with Chris. Arcane Wonders dropped it. Gray Fox picked it up, and the next thing you know, a year later, we got this beautiful product. The production is awesome.
Yeah, the gears, the writing on the gears is a little small, but that's my only complaint.
Oh no, you reminded me. for my eyes, wow. Yeah. The gear iconography and the gear letters and numbers. Man, I even when I played last Thursday, I had to shine the light on it to try to read the 1s and the 2s on there. But the rest of it, the production of the game, the tiles and the gears and the little robots and everything. I really like it, and I love diving into that bag to grab gears. I don't know, there's just something about pulling them in and putting them on the table. So City Gears, that gives a thumbs up. I need to play it a little bit more. I'm not going to give it 2 thumbs up yet because I'm still diving into the game, but I like what I saw out of it.
Yeah, and it's not hard to teach, which is always a good sign for me. When I was teaching it to Dave and Bradley and that Jennifer, it went really quick. And even when she jumped in, 5 or 7 minutes late into the discussion, we got her up to speed within like 2 turns. So it's a good deal.
I wouldn't want to take that game where you build up your engine for 2 hours and then somebody can play one card and collapse your entire house. That's not what City of Gears is. It's a 45-minute game where somebody takes out one of your robots. They don't even die. They just go back to your factory and you move them out again.
Yeah. It just costs you a little movement cost to get them there. It's not at all. I didn't want to play for like 2 hours, but the game that I didn't play with you, I was just getting ready to do some awesome stuff, and the game ended. So it's got that mechanism that you can't tell when the game's going to end. So you've got to kind of watch and be ready. It could end at any point. So it's neat.
I like it. And that is City of Gears from Gray Fox Games. I'm looking for what's another game that you wanted to talk about that you and I got to play?
Well, you didn't like Blue Lagoon. It didn't hit your buttons. It's fine. I mean, I was just showing it to you to pass the time at that point. I'll
tell you what I did like, and I think you liked it.
Yeah.
Coldwater Crown?
Coldwater Crown.
BJ from Board Game Gumbo. I've got my guest Jeremy, the Game Geek Ninja Davis, and we're talking BGG Con spicy games. And one of the games that he and I both liked, Coldwater Crown from Bellwether Games.
Yeah, and this is one that I had. I've had it for almost a year now because it just the expansion was on Kickstarter not too long ago. It should be getting to my house anytime. This is Bellwether Games, which is Dennis Hoyle's company, and he's an awesome guy.
I finally got to meet him at BGG Con. That was fun.
He's great. His family actually lives not too far from me. So we met in Huntsville about 2 years ago. But what was really great is he had Brian Shore there who was teaching us the game, which was really cool to have the designer show you the ropes. It's a fishing game, which is crazy that I would love a fishing game. But there have been some just great fishing games lately, and this one is fantastic. It's basically you're trying to get rid of your tackle from your own personal tackle box, or your bait, I guess is what they call it. And when you do, you catch a fish. And so it's got a set collection mechanism for catching the fish. But the coolest thing are those discs. You put out
absolutely.
If you put it out on a one side, the next person who picks it up is going to do one action. The next person picks it up as one action, but flips it. So the next time they put it down, you get 2 actions, or the larger action, I guess, is what, because sometimes it's not 2 actions. But depending on where you put things and what you pick up, you really can change what you're doing. And it's a fantastic mechanic. I love it. Every time I teach this to somebody, they say, "Fishing? What?" And then they're like, "Okay, let's play that again." So,
yeah, Steve says big board in the picture, I presume, is the expansion on the table. I think so. Yeah. You've played the game more than me. I think the big board right in front of me, or the smaller board right in front of me, I mean, that's the expansion part.
The smaller board is the expansion. It's the C, and what you do with the expansion is for an action in the port, you can now move your boat to the C, and then anytime you catch from your bait, you just catch something from the sea. And so it's got another, you want different creatures from the sea and their weight matters. You can catch sharks. It's really cool. But yeah, I love this game. I would play it almost anytime anybody asks about it. It's fantastic.
Well, we got to meet Dennis. Dennis was awesome, and Brian did such a good job of teaching.
Yeah.
The crew ended up buying not 1, but 2 copies of it on the spot. And I'll tell you, I set up the game, and I wasn't sure when I got there. I was like, man, the artwork is pretty neat looking. I kind of like what I'm hearing, but I don't know if this is it. By the time I got to the second half of this game, I'm like, that's it. I got to buy this game. I really can't wait to bring this and play it on Gumbo Game Nights. It's one of those games that gets better and better every turn. It just has this great buildup.
The artwork's Beth Sobel, so I mean you can't lose on this one. It's fantastic.
No, great artwork, great gameplay, plays quickly, super easy to teach. Has the expansion if you want to if you want more content. Although I didn't pick up the expansion, I don't think it was available at BGG Con.
No, it wasn't, and it's not necessary. I mean, the game plays just fine without it. It does add a little bit to it, which I enjoy, and I'm glad I got it. But even if you never got the expansion, you could be happy playing this many times without getting bored.
And that is the fishing game from Bellwether Game, Cold Water Crown. Oh, yep. I can't wait to get it back to the table. All right, so that's a good wrap up for BGG Con. We played a bunch of other games, maybe some quick hits. What'd you think of Carcassonne Safari?
I liked it, and like I told you, it's a strange confession for me. I had never played any Carcassonnes before, so
I couldn't believe that.
I know. I own it. I can teach it to somebody. I've just never sat down and played it. So it was. I like this one. It was really neat.
Hey, there's Jesse checking in. Jesse Fernandez from the crew saying hello. BJ, Jeremy in the chat room. What's up, Jesse?
So you got a picture of that one I sent you, Men at Work?
Oh yeah, I do. Hold on, let me throw that down there. Let me get that one out.
That was one of my surprise, wonderful hits from the con. It's a there you go. It's a dexterity game where
I'm so mad I never got to play this, man.
You're basically
about it a bunch of times. I really wanted to play this.
It's fantastic. I'm gonna get this one. You're on a building site.
Sorry. So you were saying?
So you're on a building site and you're building girders and you have your little construction guys, and sometimes you have to balance them holding bricks or holding tiny girders, and as soon as they fall, you get you lose a safety certificate. If you lose all of yours, you're out. So this was another one that Eric just stomped me at, but it was a blast.
So, same company that makes Junk Art, if I remember right.
This is Pretzel.
Okay, yeah. And to me, it looks like the Meeple Circus of 2018.
Oh, easily.
It's got that balancing and crazy looks. So
without the timer at the end, though, because the musical timer at the end of Meeple Circus will drive you a little mad.
That's true. Hey, so Kirk, and you're not the only one, Ninja. Kirk and Jesse have never played Carcassonne either.
Well, now I've played it, so they're behind.
Yeah, that's true. They're behind. By the way, Carcassonne Safari is out. I've seen it in the stores now. I am so tempted to get a copy because I like that one. It kind of refreshed the Carcassonne for me. I started getting the itch to play it again after playing that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It looks a little bit like it. And Patrick wants to know, how does Men at Work compare to Tokyo Metro? Have you played that one?
I haven't. I know that Eric was just talking about that one, but I haven't played that one. I just lucked upon this one in the games room, and I brought it upstairs where they were sitting around, and a couple of people they stopped what they were playing, and we just put this one on the table because it just looks great.
Yep. All right, so I think that's enough talk about BGG Con. There's another reason I wanted you on the show. You are one of those guys that are awesome with gateway and filler games. You're a great teacher of those. You play a million of them. It seems like you're always posting on Twitter with yet another gateway or filler game. So we got the members of the Gateway and Filler Games group on Facebook. You remember that. That's Chuck Yeager's group. And we got them to nominate a bunch of games. And we did this in a hurry, so this is just for fun. But we did some nominations, and then my buddy Steve O'Rourke, the producer of the show, he put together a little Google voting. And so we've got the Gateway Games of the Year.
The results.
So I'm curious. Number one, did you participate? Did you vote, Ninja?
Oh, yeah, I voted. I'm one of the however many you got on there.
Okay, good. We had a bunch of votes. Steve knows the answer to how many, but we had a bunch of votes, surprisingly, in only 24 hours of voting.
Yeah,
or 48 hours of voting. It was really quick. So I was impressed that we got a bunch of votes. But let's go to number 10. We're going to do these real quick before we get to the 5 and see if you've played any of these. So the first one, number 10, Thanos Rising.
Now,
do you know it?
I don't know it. I'm not going to know a lot of these because I haven't
Oh,
got to most of them yet. But
all right. So Thanos Rising is a cooperative game. It's based on it's based on the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Right.
It's got the big head of Thanos right in the middle, and it's got all the different actors. So Steve says we got about 34 votes in 48 hours. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
So Thanos Rising number 10. So you've never played that one.
Nope.
The next game is one.
I'm just gonna. You're gonna say that I play all these games, and I'm gonna have played none of them. That's
No, but these are all new games. These are all new games. The next one, I am so mad. I walked by this game 10 times because the Cosmos booth was right behind the lady that was demoing
is this
number 9, Gingerbread House. Man, I was so mad. Did you play it?
No. I know you talked about it and wanted to get back to it. It was right across from Coldwater Crown.
It was right across from it. And a bunch of times I went and she was already doing a demos and I was on my break and I was like, oh, I'll come back. And, I just never came back to play it. So I am mad because I love Phil Walker Harding. I really would have liked to have played that. The next one I played a million times. So Gone Sean Clever, which Stronghold Games is putting out, I think, in January or February. Yeah. They're going to be releasing it here in America. It's not available in America. Have you played Gone Sean Clever?
I have not played this. I did play his other game called Bricks.
Okay.
At BGG Con, which is a Tetris type game. It was interesting. I think Gone Sean Clever is more of a puzzle game, right?
It's a dice rolling game. It's a roll and write, basically. Yeah. But there is a little bit of player interaction. And I finally got Steve O'Rourke to try it out. And, of course, he's already scoring higher than me on it. But that's another story. But, yeah, Gone Sean Clever is addicting. Very addicting.
I was telling Sean from Flat Out Games yesterday that any game where you have people trying to score the highest possible score, and then when they're done with that, they try to score the lowest. That's an addictive game.
That is true. People do try to score the lowest. So the first time I played it, I didn't know how to play the game, and Alex texted me and said, this is months ago, you got to play this game. There's an app version, so try the app. I want to teach it to you at Gen Con. I was like, okay. So I tried the app, but I didn't read the rules because I was kind of busy and it was my lunch break. So I just played it without reading the rules, and I scored 49 points, which is terrible. So I texted Alex a picture of the score, and he's like, you can't even do that on purpose. That score is so bad. I was like, I know, but I didn't know what I was doing. So, all right, the next game I don't know anything about. I know the name, but I've never played it. I've never even seen it in the wild. And that is Macropolis.
Yeah, I keep seeing that one pop up, and I even put it on my list to check out. But I don't know anything about Macropolis. I've seen it. It looks pretty cool, but that's as far as I've gotten.
So far, we're 1 for 4. I played one of these games. All right. So let's see if we can get a little better on the next one. All right. Number 6, Century Eastern Wonders. Now that I played a couple of times. What about you? Have you played that one?
I played the first one, but
I haven't played Century Eastern Wonders. I played the first one. I haven't played this, the new one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
And I've got the Gollum edition of Spice Road. So I'm kind of holding off to see if they'll put out. They say they're not going to. But I'm holding off to buy that one to see if I can get that Gollum edition again because it was so cool. Well,
the crew's having fun at my expense. I think you rolled the dice 50 times. How did you get 49? Very carefully, Steve. Very carefully. And Kevin says one rolled off the table. Yeah, thanks, Kevin.
That's perfect.
That's not what happened, but there are. It's possible. It's possible. Sometimes you can't even place your numbers. So that is how I got that little low of a score. There was a lot of not placing. All right, number 5, a game I want to play, but I haven't played, the 15-minute version of Ticket to Ride New York.
Yeah, now that one I have.
Oh, okay. So we got one.
And I picked this one up at Target when it was on sale for like $15. It was great. It's a quick version, and it's a little ruthless because in Ticket to Ride, if you use a path, other people can't use it. There are so few paths, and you need them so much that when somebody takes it, it can screw up your pattern. So it's pretty ruthless, but I mean, 15 minutes and you're done. So I think it's gonna be up there in my favorite types of Ticket to Ride. I still think the kids version is my favorite.
And Patrick reminded me, I do know a little bit more about Macropolis than I was thinking. It is that Cathala game, Bruno Cathala, about building an anthill. That does ring a bell a little bit more. So,
Well, see, if it's a kids game, I need to check it out.
yeah, you definitely need to check that one out.
Yeah.
All right, so that is that was New York Ticket to Ride, and you have played that one.
That one I have played. Yeah, I did like it. It was pretty cool.
I'm gonna have to get that one checked out. So, all right, let's go to number 4. Number 4 is a game I have played from AEG. I actually just got a copy in, and I've got a review coming out. I got to get a couple more plays in, but I've played it 2 or 3 times already. And that is Space Base. Have you, or as Eric, your friend Eric Yurko says, Space Base.
Is this the one that's supposed to replace Machikoro?
No, it destroys Machikoro.
It destroys Machikoro. Okay.
It destroys it. I don't even own Machikoro. I got rid of it. I bought it for my wife for Christmas. She played it once, hated it. I gave it to my nieces and nephews. They surprisingly liked it, so at least I can play with them. But no, that is not in my house anymore. Space Base, that is one I do like. Have you tried it?
I haven't played that one yet. No, we played Megaland the other night, which I think is up there to kill Machikoro as well. But
okay, so it has that dice rolling, sharing resources type of mechanic.
No, it's just a push your luck easy game, but it just feels the same niche to me. It doesn't have the dice rolling, but you're buying little shops and stuff which build up points the same way. So it's got a neat feel to it as well.
See, Kevin agrees with you. He says, I bought a copy of Machikoro just to throw it out after playing Space Base. Oh, my God, that is good. Oh, no, Kevin's on a roll tonight. So, yeah, Space Base. Quick hit on the game. Basically, you're going to roll dice, and the dice that you choose is independent. Everybody else can look at those dice and use the same dice on their board if they've developed those numbers. Now, it's supposed to be a base theme. It's really about rolling numbers, but it's got some nice artwork. It's a race to 40 points, but the first half takes so long as you build the engine that you don't realize that 3/4 of the game is building the engine, and the last 5 minutes of in other words, the last 25 or 30% of the game takes only 5 minutes, because once you get that engine going, it's like 5 points, 10 points, win,
Yeah, that's
you've got to be careful with that game.
That's the cheese factory strategy in Machikoro too. You just roll a 7, game's over.
Yeah, so the 7s are tougher in this one, and here's how they did it. Instead of, as you know, with getting to the 6, 7, and 8s in Machikoro is king, right? In this game, you either take the numbers total or you take the individual rolls, which means there's a lot more 1s, 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s than there are of the typical 7, 8, 9s.
Yeah, that's a nice twist on it.
Because the way they come out. And plus, it amps it up. It amps it up with so many different cards. There's level 1, level 2, and level 3 cards, and then you have to purchase the cards. But all of these cards have so many cool, crazy effects. Like you can take the card 2 or 3 spaces to your left. You can switch out your 12 for your 6. So you can throw a really amazing card at number 12. Obviously, the ones on the ends are going to be more powerful cards, but you can throw them out at 12, which never happens, and then swoop, slide it over to 7 or 6 or 5, which does happen a lot. So it's got some really cool effects. I like Space Base. So Space. All right, next up. Maybe this is a game you played. I played it at BGG Con. Let's see if I can find it there. And that is, oh, no, that's not the right one. No, that is Welcome To. Have you played Welcome To? Number 3 on the list. Welcome To.
Welcome To, we played at Gen Con Nerd Night with 85 people in the room and I think 50 people online at the same time. And the guy sitting at my table won, so it was nice.
I was impressed. I ended up kind of teaching the game because the guy said, yeah, I'm going to teach it to you guys. And then he started reading the rules, reading the rules line for line, word for word. I kind of listened to it, and not everybody, some people kind of tuned out. So I listened to it the whole time. And for some reason, it was one of those games where some games just click, and that one just did. I knew right away what we were supposed to be doing. I kind of helped teach everybody else at the table. We were playing like 5 or 6 people. I had a blast, man. I for some reason, I really dug this game. Maybe because I got to call it Timamu, which is the town where I grew up. But more than that, it's a fun roll and write, and you can play with as many people as possible.
Yeah, and it's got a bunch of different strategies you can go for. All pools all the time is mine, but
I was hitting the pools pretty hard.
Yeah.
And I did notice that, see, when you weren't there, I won a game. But I did notice that with Welcome to, it says that it's got a reputation for not really having much player interactivity, but there is a little bit because you're trying to steal those middle cards. I don't remember what they call them, but those bonus point cards. Trying to get to them first. So there's a little bit. It's not quite a solo game.
Well, and the more people that you have playing it, it's harder to be interactive because if you're in a whole room full of people, you're waiting for somebody to shout out bingo, basically, that they got that finished. If you're at the table, you can kind of eye around and see where people are.
Ooh, I hadn't thought of that.
So the more people, the less interactivity, I would say.
Bill Lassick says, hey, it's one of the best filler games he's played this year. Have seen a lot of big online games. Welcome to. Yeah, I saw somebody did one in PAX U. I mean, a big one. Oh, it might have been Chris. I think Chris did a giant one. Chris from Game All Night, I think, was the one who ran a big giant one. So that's number 3 on the gateway games of the year. Welcome to, from our friends Nolan Nasser and Deepwater Games. Let's get to number 2. Gizmos. Is that a game you got to play?
No, this is the one you were telling me about, though.
Oh, so you've
played this, right?
Gizmo. Yeah,
no, I played number 1, I think. If it's not number 1, I'm gonna be upset. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm trying to find my picture of Gizmos. I got it somewhere. There you are. All right, so Gizmos. My buddy Sagan taught this, and if Sagan and Emily are watching, hey, happy birthday, Emily. Sagan's wife, she had a birthday last night. So Sagan taught Gizmos. I was super excited about playing it. I've never played Potion Explosion until Thanksgiving. So, but I love marble games. So I was kind of really pumped to play it, and it was every bit as fun as I thought. I don't consider it a Splendor killer. I don't know if anything really kills Splendor. I still like Splendor. It still has a reason for it. But yeah, it takes that engine building mechanic that Splendor has and really amps it up. And it's got the tactile thing with all the marbles, and it's cool. It's a good game.
Yeah, I really like Potion Explosion, so this one is on my list of things to check out. I just haven't gotten a hold of it yet.
I'm curious. Hey, chat room, crew, I want to hear from you. Gizmos or Potion Explosion? I say Gizmos. I think the game looks better. It's frankly more fun. But I'm curious. I bet there are some people that will like Potion Explosion better. I am curious to see what people say. All right, so you have a guess as to the number 1 game? What's your guess?
My guess is Reef.
Well, I'm sorry to tell you.
That's what I would like, but hey.
I'm sorry to tell you, but you're right. Number 1 game is Reef. Okay,
yeah.
Here, I got to tell you this. So Reef, I learned, and I've since played probably about a dozen times. All right, so we got a couple of people. Oh, Verla's checking in. Man, I love, if you haven't read Verla's posts on the gateway and filler games, she plays so many good games. I really respect her opinion. Thank you for checking in. And she says Gizmos, so she is happy. Patrick says Gizmos over Potion Explosion. Surprise?
Not really. I mean, Potion Explosion, it's nice, but from what I can tell, Gizmos is going to be quicker. And if it hits the same, scratches the same itch, it may be better.
Yeah, Steve, we're getting some technical difficulties. I don't know what's going on. It's my neighborhood internet. It's nothing I can do about it. I'm going to check out every once in a while, just like last week. Just hang on, and I'll be right back in there. So Jesse said he's heard of Reef, but not many of the other games mentioned. And Jesse, that's one of the reasons that Steve and I were texting back and forth about why we wanted to do this, because people like Verla and Dan and Steve and people talk about all these different games. Jeremy Howard, Jambalaya, talk about all these different games every week, but we kind of lose track of them because there's so many posts. We thought doing a top 10 games of the year would crystallize in some people's minds what games are getting attention and maybe the ones they want to look out for the Christmas holidays. So let's get back to that Reef game. Reef is by Emerson Matsuuchi. It's from Plan B, really their smaller imprint. I'm just drawing a blank as to what it's called. Next Move, maybe? But it's Plan B Games, and it's got the toy factor out of this world, Jeremy. Mm-hmm. You haven't played it, right? No,
I played it with you at Gen Con. That was the first time, because we were in the Hot Games room.
Yeah. The BGG Hot Games room. I totally forgot about that. Yeah, you got to play it twice. Isn't that right?
I snuck in the end of yours because you had to go, or somebody had to go.
No,
And
I played
then
a full game, and then I couldn't stay for the second game.
yeah, that's what it
So
was.
you came in and took over the second game. I only
Yeah.
played like one turn, and you moved right in.
I really liked it. It was it's just smooth and fun. I was talking to somebody yesterday who said that they played it in a competition and it broke because they know how to win every time now.
What?
And well, I know I don't care for that. I told him he shouldn't have played competitions if he's going to break the game because you want to play it again and again. But he
Well, you
said
gotta tell us what's the secret.
he said the
What does he think
strategy
is the
is
basic
to
secret?
2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 and just build twos everywhere, and then it satisfies so many different cards that you win almost as soon as you get the card.
Yeah, I can see that coming. I do go for, and I've won this game a few times, and go for a strategy where I'm really looking for bigger point cards. That's the fours, fives, those, and a lot of those look hard to do, and they're really not. And you can chain them because they're focused on just a couple of colors. I can kind of see that, but I've seen people win with every kind of strategy. One from just I'm going to play as many cards as possible and run out of the tiles as quickly as possible, the coral pieces, shorten the game up. I've seen people just go for the big one where you do the one that circles all the way around and try to get 8 points out of it. I've seen a bunch of people do different strategies. So
Yeah, and I think the more you play it, the better you're going to be at scoring because you'll know which cards are in the deck, and you can kind of figure out where you want to go with it. But I really like it. I think it's going to be. Yeah, I'm going to get it for Christmas one way or another. If I don't get it as a gift, I'm going to buy it, and this is going to be one that I'm going to be teaching people for a while.
I am curious about the chat room and about you also, but especially maybe we can talk later on. But I want to hear from the chat room. Hey, crew, did anybody have any trouble teaching newer gamers Reef? Because I had. I tried to teach it at one of the family events, and I've got a particular person that has a lot of trouble with anything too complicated. And he's a good gamer. It's just he doesn't like complicated games. He's like a one or two rule, like Lost Cities Rivals. He loved it. He got it right away. He's like, auction, bidding, blah, blah, blah. The mechanic of playing the card, and one part of the card is what you get, and the other part of the card is what you play and score on. It just blew his mind. He couldn't, for whatever reason, put that together. Am I the only one that had trouble with that one person, or is anybody else finding that Reef isn't necessarily a first-time gamer's game? What do you think?
Well, I haven't taught it yet, so
Okay.
I'm interested to find. That would be an interesting problem to have.
Bertle says, so many games, so little time. I love that you did the poll and the list. It is helpful to everybody who don't keep up as much. It's true. So yeah, let me know in the chat room if anybody has had that trouble with Reef. It's not as simple. Well, look, there's Verlo. She's commenting, hey, I had some trouble with Reef my first time. I can tell you, Jeremy, before you got there, the BGG High Games rule, we had to really go slow through the rules. There's some things that just aren't that intuitive, but we were able to figure it out. It took us a little bit of time. So
well, like with most games like that, once somebody has played it, it's easier to teach than to read straight from the rules. So
let's get to the filler games of the year, Jeremy. You got some ideas? What are you thinking? Filler games?
No, I've got nothing except what I voted on this one. So,
well, I'm curious. How did you vote?
I'll tell you when it comes up because I honestly don't remember at this point.
All right, number 5, I have not played, so I'm curious to see if you have, and that is Illusion. That's another one of those wash games. I'm pretty sure it's the same guy that designed Ganshan Clever and the one you were talking about earlier.
Yeah,
Illusion. I have not played it. Nope, nothing.
Nothing on that one.
I've seen it, but I have not gotten to play it, so I'd like to try it. Number 4, a game you have played, Catch the Moon.
Yes, and I think that's the one I voted for.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Catch the Moon. And I'm going to throw a nice little picture up there. Oh, man, I got the wrong one again. Sorry. There it is.
Yeah.
Catch the Moon. And that is you really focused in on that one. I can't find my tongue
very
picture.
Tired.
Yeah. It was some long times there. All right. So number 3, a game I've played, Railroad Inc. Have you tried this one?
No, but I've heard good things. That's another roll and write, right?
It is a roll and write. And My buddy Dave brought it at game night. He bought a copy, I'm pretty sure, at BGG Con. We played the red one, I'm pretty sure. There's two different versions. There's the blue one and the red one. And I got to play it. I actually liked it. All right. And Bill is going to miss out on Jambalaya. We're about to do it, Bill, if you got a second. If not, because we only got 2 more games to talk about. The next one is, Alex is going to be disappointed because it's the Mine, number 2. It did not make number 1. Are you a fan of the Mine?
I haven't played it yet, but I don't think I'm going to be a fan of the Mine. It just does not sound like my type of thing.
I played it with my wife. That's the only time I played it, and this is not her type of game.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm hamming it up. I'm like holding hands on the table, and we got a mind meld, and I'm doing all this stuff. She's like, "This is terrible, terrible." So I got to play it with another group. So the Mine. I don't own a copy. I just have the 6 Nempt, all the cards, so I just use that instead.
Yeah, I would play it with I have the game, so I can do that too.
Number 1, a game I haven't played yet. So it's the only one I haven't played on this list is Sprawl. Oh, you have played it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually got this one. I like it. It's I've played it twice. I played it at Gen Con, and then before it was completely out. I think somebody had a promo copy. And then I played it at BGG, and it was way too late to play it there. But it's a nice co-op where have you played Circled Wagons?
No.
Okay.
The only one I played is Tall Towers. That's it.
Yeah. You're overlaying cards and eliminating. Each card has 4 different parts of a city: parks, industrial, something else, commercial, and residential, maybe.
Oh, I like those kind of games.
Yeah, and you're overlaying them to fulfill requirements of the game. So 3 of the cards in the deck you use as the requirement cards, and the rest of them the other 15 you use during the game. So you're building this little city together to try to fulfill the requirements. And if you score a certain amount of points, then you win.
That is right up my alley. I love those kind of games.
Yeah, and it's another button shy, so it fits in your pocket.
I love those little wallet games.
Yeah.
Steve O'Rourke talks about Sprawlopolis a lot, so I'm going to have to try that one out. He did not like the Mine. He said that was not his type of game either. So, Alex, sorry, man. It did not win. I know you were pulling for it. Sprawlopolis is, at least for this fun little vote that we just did for fun, the number 1 filler game of the year. And the number 1 gateway game was Reef. So congratulations to both of those games. BJ from Board Game Gumbo here. Got my buddy Game Geek Ninja here on Gumbo Live. And I think we're ready. We've got a special Jambalaya. Jeremy, have you played Jambalaya? I don't think you have.
I haven't played it with you, but it's more special than you know.
Why do you say that?
Because you've got clues for me, right?
I do?
Well, because you didn't have Steve working on them, I got him to write ones for you as well.
Oh, no, not tonight. No, not tonight. Did he really?
Yeah, we got a whole list.
All right, well, we're going with mine. So
we can do one or two.
Yeah, we can do that. So Adam Austin checked in. I don't know if you got to meet Adam. He's from the crew, and he was out there at BGG Con, but he said he won a 3-player version of the Mine for my second game at Origins Game Fair. Wow, 3. Now I have, Adam, to be fair, I've heard it's easier to win at 2 or 3 than it is at the higher play counts. So I'm not sure. We can talk about that tomorrow night at Gumbo Game Night. Hopefully I'll see Adam there. All right, so Jambalaya Game, just to run through it for you real quick since you haven't been on the show to play it. We're going to mash up board games, and we're going to mash them up with stuff. Now, most of these are going to be tied into you.
Excellent.
Yeah, so that'll make it a little bit easier. Let me give you an example so you see what I'm talking about. Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely abstract game. 2-player abstract game. The sun and moon pieces are, quote, adept at helping you win. So that game would be Herman's Hermetica.
Oh, my goodness.
So Herman's Hermits wrote Mrs. Brown, you've got a lovely daughter, right?
Right. Hermetica I played. So.
You reviewed Hermetica.
Yeah. You're stealing them off of my... Okay, I see how it is.
do not go on your website. Do not go on your website. All right. So here we go. Are you ready? You understand the game?
Oh, I know the game, but we're going to do 1 or 2 for you, too.
That is fine. Are you ready, Ninja?
Yes,
to
I'm
play
ready.
The Jambalaya Game?
All right.
Okay, good. All right, number 1. Portal Games has a bunch of 2-player games. But Ninja, did you know, Ninja, that one of those games was inspired by Bear Bryant's favorite team? What game are we talking about?
Portal?
Portal Games has a bunch of two-player games. They've got a bunch. But did you know one of them, Ninja? All right, so he's close. He says Crimson. Oh, no, he's got it. Steve O'Rourke says Crimson Tides of Time.
There you go.
Is that one you would have gotten?
No, probably not. I was stuck on something else.
Steve O'Rourke's got it already. He's got one in the books. All right. So, no. I am not ducking the jambalaya. My internet is just not working this last week, and it's driving me crazy. All right,
That's
so here
right,
we
I'm
go.
back.
All right, so number 2. Let's try another one.
All right.
Don't eat the delicious marshmallow and chocolate baked goods in this game. That's how members of the crew got infected in the first place. And actually, I think Steve wrote this one, so this might be one of his. Does that sound familiar?
Don't eat the what?
Don't eat the delicious marshmallow and chocolate baked goods in this game. They're very dry, by the way. Don't let Tony and Marty, don't let them know that I said that, but they're very dry. That's how members of the crew got infected in the first place. What game are we talking about? Any idea?
No.
Crew, any idea out there? I'll give you a hint. It's based on BSG. Does that help? Tony and Marty from Rolling Dice and Taking Names. That should be a big hint to you there.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of that one, though.
What's their favorite snack? What do they love throwing out at all the different cons? Oh, Adam's got the game, Dark Moon. But what's the mashup? Dark Moon Pies. He's got it. With an assist from Adam. Yeah, with an assist from Adam. But yep, Dark Moon Pies. Oh, Kevin was right there. Dark Moon Pie. So close. So close. Have you heard of Dark Moon?
Yeah.
Okay.
We've got it at the library, but I haven't played it.
Hey, Ninja. I heard the new James Bond movie is going to be shot in Huntsville, Alabama. Did you know that?
No.
But did you know Carla Kopp wrote the script?
God. You did do these yourself. Steve, you need your help, man.
Oh, these are so inside baseball. What game are we talking about? The new James Bond film. It's going to be shot in Huntsville, and Carla Kopp wrote the script. I wonder if Nick knows that. What game are we talking about?
I have no idea. You've thrown me for a loop now. I'm wondering if anybody in the chat room is going to get them because they're so specific.
This one is total inside baseball. Now, come on. What game? I'm obviously talking about a Weird Giraffe game, right?
Yeah, Stellar Leap, probably.
No, not Stellar Leap, because I can't think of any James Bond movie with Stellar Leap in it.
Oh, well, okay. So,
Are you a James Bond fan?
Huntsville, but,
yeah.
It's so you're doing Fire in the Library then?
I can't think of a James Bond movie with Fire in the Library either, though.
So which one are you doing?
Yeah.
Oh, Dreams of Tomorrow.
Aha.
So, yeah.
Aha.
So, what's the Dreams of Tomorrow Never Knows?
Oh,
Tomorrow Never Dies. There you go.
Oh, he's got it. He's got it. Oh,
well,
sorry.
I mean, if you'd have picked a bigger company, I'd have been just completely out of lag.
Sorry, chat room. That was
four games,
that
so
one
that's made it
for me. And that one was just for me. Sorry about that one. Well, you know what? Let's continue the theme. We're gonna kill the chat room tonight. I told you these are all right up your alley. Hey, Jeremy. Book burning. That's bad, right?
Yeah.
Book burning is bad. You know how we know that? Johnny Cash told us.
Oh, Jesus.
That's your clue.
Ring of Fire in the Library. Okay.
Oh my God, he's got it.
All right. Since they're obviously so bad, Steve's gonna make me do one for you.
Okay.
All right, you're gonna do this, right?
Johnny Cash told us that book burning was bad.
I mean, you need to let Steve write your material.
I'm cracking myself up.
And you're the only one on the whole internet laughing. Okay, here we go.
So
Are you ready?
inside baseball. All right.
All right.
Throw one at me.
Steve has written these specifically for you.
Ninja, I think we lost the chat room. I think
it's because you're doing, yeah, it's inside. So Steve has written these specifically for you. It's a game and a song mashup.
I'm never gonna get these. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So
right,
there's
cheers.
a game clue. There's a game clue and a song clue. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. The game clue is fighting to control the map with your mashed up fantasy civilizations that can go into decline.
So it's Small World, and
the song clue is appealing to BJ's Louisiana connection. The most famous version of this lovely old ballad is the iconic version sung by Louis Armstrong.
What a wonderful small world.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But he says you have to sing it.
Oh. I see. Great. That's about the only Louis I'm gonna get. Oh man.
Yeah, see there he says, and BJ must sing the answers.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Miklos says, I am totally lost. Sorry, we don't usually go so inside Miklos. And Miklos actually, he's gonna be on the show in the spring, by the way. You're gonna have to check that out. They have a cool channel. Our Family Plays Board Games. So if you haven't checked it out, you need to check that out. They do a good job. And they're on the Longview now, I think it is. Yeah, they do a good job on that podcast. All right, you ready? Can I throw one out to you?
Yeah. Is it as inside as the rest?
I'm gonna guarantee that no one from the chat room will be close to getting this one. But we'll see. My least favorite Will Smith movie. It might have been better. It might have been better, Ninja, if it only had pecans, a caramel shell, and a waffle cone. What game am I talking about?
I have no idea.
And it's not Men in Black. Here comes the Men in Black.
I think your viewership is going way down.
Yeah, that's as bad as these clues are. All right. So my least favorite Will Smith movie. It might have been better if it had pecans and a caramel shell and a waffle cone. By the way, all these games are games you've played or reviewed. That's why except for Dark Moon, but I didn't write that one.
Yeah.
All right. What's the worst Will Smith movie?
I don't know. There have been some bad ones.
So this one is based on an Isaac Asimov short story.
So iRobot. So that's iRobot's Love Ice Cream.
There it is. He's got it.
That's Olivia's favorite game too. So
you talk about it all the time.
Yeah, she loves it. But again, viewership.
Well, I'm bringing in games. It's the spiel. I'm sorry. That's right. Not the long view. It's the spiel. That's right, Miklo. Sorry about that, man. Looking forward to being on the show. Yeah, can't wait. Adam. No, you know what? Adam's right. That is the worst.
Yeah,
that is the worst. I stand corrected, Adam. You
would be Wild Wild Western Trail. Would have been.
What a bad movie. That was really bad movie. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna give Adam half credit for that one because that should have been the clue. Hey, I've got a game.
Needs credit.
I've got a game idea I want you to design. You like designing games, right?
Sure. Is it got spiders?
It doesn't have spiders. I want you to take some art. Oh, we forgot to post a picture of a bag of spiders. Sorry about that.
We'll do that when it comes out.
Take Arctic animals, add a tiny white ball and a net and some little paddles, and we're going to play this game.
Ping pong penguins.
You're so close. You're so close.
I don't even remember what it was.
Jesse's offended. He says it's not the worst movie. We know it's
clearly Wild Wild West.
Even Miklos agrees. Horrible.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a big Will Smith fan, but not Wild Wild West. No.
Well, he got money, so that's all that matters.
Yeah, he got paid. Yeah. All right, so we got Arctic animals. We're adding a tiny white ball and a net. Oh, Jesse, I haven't seen After Earth, so I can't verify. You may be right, but I don't know. So what game are we talking about? Tiny white ball and net and some paddles, and let's play.
I don't know the game.
You reviewed it, so you better know the game.
I know, but obviously my memory is gone.
All right. Any guesses out there? Well, if you don't know it, no one's going to get it. So I'm going to throw this. I'm going to call this one.
Yeah.
It's Pingaloo Pong.
Oh, Pingaloo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've never played it.
we just played that not too long ago,
Hey,
but I don't think I reviewed it. I just put it on my Twitter. I don't think I actually reviewed it.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think I got it off your Twitter. Oh,
Yeah.
I got one though for you. You know what would have been good at BGG Con? You know what would have been good?
What?
If we had played a fishing game with Dennis and Brian, but we had a nice glass of blended Canadian whiskey. Now, if you don't get this one, the chat room is going to get this one.
Well, that would be good. Fishing with whiskey.
Yep. Playing a new fishing game with a nice glass of blended Canadian whiskey. Maybe have Brian there. Maybe have Dennis there. What game?
I know this one. Yeah. Are they going to get it?
I don't think so. They're still talking about After Earth.
It's Cold Water Crown Royal.
It is Cold Water Crown Royal. Look, I totally made these for you, man. This is a guaranteed win. Guaranteed win. Okay, ready? We only got a few left, man. Unless you have one for me to do. No?
We've got 14, so
all right, throw one out there. I'm ready for it. Throw it out there.
All right, let me
we got to give the chat room a chance.
One he really liked.
Okay.
All right, so the game is a drafting little bites of Japanese deliciousness. And the song is Fleetwood Mac. Huh?
Go. No.
The song is Fleetwood Mac. Said that loving you isn't the right thing to do.
Is it off the Rumors album? Yeah. If it's not off the Rumors album, I'm not going to know it.
I even know this Fleetwood Mac song.
I'm sure I know it, right? I'm sure I know it. Man,
Did you get the game?
I'm thinking Sushi Go.
Okay. So put it together with Fleetwood Mac song.
Oh, Verla with the sneak, and she's got it. You can go your own way. That's right. Sushi Go your own way. That is off the Rumors album. I just couldn't. Eric says, please don't Sushi Go. Oh, that'd be a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. Clearly, Steve's clues are better than yours.
Because the chat room is getting it. I agree. Well, speaking of bad clues, what a great segue. Jeremy, the 80s. What an amazing decade, right?
Yeah, we were young.
Amazing music. Well, except for this one song by Kenny Rogers and Dolly Parton. Do you remember it? It was all about Robert Louis Stevenson's pirate lore.
Oh, my Lord.
No one in between. How can we be wrong? Sail away with me.
No, they should get this one.
To another world where we rely on each other.
Well, Steve, you got your wish. He's singing.
So what game is that? Any idea?
It's Treasure Islands in the Stream.
Yeah. So these are pretty simple. See? I told you, Jeremy. They're all geared for you. Oh, Adam Austin. Look, everybody had the song, but nobody had the game. You picked up on the clue.
Well, it's a brand new game.
Yeah, that is true.
It's a pretty decent, quick version of like what Fury of Dracula does. It does in about an hour and a half. So it's a pretty good game.
Stephen, Adam, and Verla were right on it.
Yeah.
All right. So do you listen to podcasts? Your podcast?
Not much.
Oh, man. Maybe I'll skip this one then. Do you like trains?
Sure.
How much
with trains?
How much do you like trains?
Not as much as you.
Do you like them enough to write a dumb clue? I mean, do you like them enough to build a pile of cards and tiles marked 0 to 9 and score points trying to get them off the ground? How do you like them trains now, Jeremy?
I don't even know what you are right now.
I'm off the rails right now. So what game are we talking about? Yeah, what game are we talking about there? Any idea?
No. 0 to 9.
Yep. Piles of cards, 0 to 9, and score points trying to get them off the ground. all the cards have numbers on them. Really colorful.
No, I'm drawing a blank.
Anybody, chat room out there.
Did I do this one too?
You played this game. I think you played it the first night of BGG Con.
Oh, it's number 9. So it's something engine number 9.
Oh, he's going to let the chat room get in there. Verla says, I can't tie it to the trains.
Yeah, something engine number 9, but I don't know what it is.
I'll give it to you. It's engine number 9. You ever heard that nursery rhyme? Engine number 9, rolling down Chicago line. If the train goes off the track. All right. How about another one? Ready? Last year.
How many of these did you?
Let's talk serious. Let's talk serious, okay? For a second. Let's get serious. Last year, Amazon had to deal with a lot of scandals, Jeremy. Do you remember that? A lot of counterfeit board games.
Sure.
So I ended up, I try. Jambalaya wants to know who is this guy on the podcast. So I ended up with a 2-player abstract game that I ordered. It was supposed to come in. It was supposed to have an ostrich and a frog and a turtle. And instead, my counterfeit game had an emu and a tadpole and a tortoise. I think it was a fake. What game am I talking about? Burla, you've never heard that nursery rhyme? Engine number 9, rolling down Chicago line. If the train goes off the track, do you want your money back? All right, back to this one.
He's lost it.
So Amazon had a scandal, counterfeit board games. I ended up with a 2-player abstract game that was supposed to come with an ostrich, a frog, and a turtle, but instead it came with the emu, tadpole, and tortoise. I think it was a fake. What game did I get? All right, so let's focus on the game. 2-player abstract game with the ostrich and the frog and the turtle. Does that sound familiar at all?
No, but you keep going out on me. So.
Oh, really?
No, it's fine. Ostrich and turtle and frog?
Yep, it's a 2-player abstract game with an ostrich, frog, and a turtle. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you. At least somebody's heard of that nursery rhyme.
Yeah, I don't know this game either.
Steve, you know this one? Ostrich, frog, turtle. Adam, I know you know this one. Sagan, Emily, anybody out there? Man, can't believe I stumped everybody. All right, so not familiar with a 2-player abstract game, ostrich, frog, turtle. All right, so if I give you the game, it might help, right?
Okay. What's the game?
The game is Onitama.
Oh, the moves. Okay. So it's just, you're just putting Amazonitama on there?
No, the key in this clue is that it was counterfeit board games. It was supposed to be the ostrich, frog, and turtle, but instead we got emu, tadpole, and tortoise, and they're fake. So it's not Onitama, it's
Phonytama.
Phonytama. All right, last one.
Oh my goodness.
I got one more for you. Baker's dozen here. This is it. I promise. We're going to end this right here. Yeah, Steve says, thanks for making him miss me. Yeah, Steve will be back with his regularly scheduled clues so you guys can all enjoy it. So
this is the fourth time I've been on the show and nobody's going to watch when I come back again.
I'm just getting killed on here. All right, so the last one. Jefferson Starship would have loved this game. It's made by Gray Fox Games, and they're building a steampunk town. Come on, that is so easy. This is like super easy.
We built this city of gears.
We built this city of gears. That's the way to end on a good note, right? How was that one?
That was better.
All right, so that was the Jambalaya game. I'm telling you, Jeremy, you cleaned up with all of my bad questions. I mean, it looks like only a couple people. I got Adam with a half a point, and I got Steve with 1 point. So you are the winner of the Jambalaya game.
Left.
Yeah, so Jeremy's the winner and everyone else is the loser, basically, because they had to put up with this game.
Everyone else left already.
Oh man. All right. So I'm gonna cede authority on the clues for the Jambalaya game back to Steve O'Rourke. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Verla. That was a nice way to win it. Nice way to end it with the easy clue there. We built this city of gears. It's been the almost a Gray Fox Game show. They should sponsor it, man. I need to call Alex about that. Yeah, come back and we'll do ours. So we've got plenty of clues next week. Our guest next week is going to be Stephen from Stronghold Games. Yeah, Stephen Bonacore. So we've got plenty of clues for that one. We do have one last thing to do. I drew a random number on the people that thumbed, and surprise, surprise, Chuck Yeager, the group winner, the group guy from the Gateway and Filler Games group. He's the winner. I've got a little promo thing that I'm going to send him, so I'll reach out to him on Facebook. He was one of the ones that thumbed up on the contest tonight. Thank you. See, Jesse's my buddy here. He says, "Great job, Jeremy, and great job on the singing." I appreciate that, man. So, Ninja, what's up next for you? Where are you going next? What's your next con?
I probably won't be anywhere until I might be at Origins. I think is my next thing I'm doing. But we may come down to see you.
Rocket City Game Fest, right?
Yeah, if I can get up for that, that's usually just a one-day thing for me. But Carla and Nick were talking about coming down to New Orleans, so we may get together before then.
I also put out the call to them to come to the Southern Board Game Fest on March 30th.
When is that?
March 30th. It'll be the Saturday. We are blowing this thing up. It's going to be at the University of Louisiana's $1 Million Ballroom at the Student Union. It is phenomenal. We're going to be doing live streaming all day with hopefully better internet that I've got here tonight. But we're going to be doing live streaming of games, trying to get Carl and them to come down and play their new game because they'll have a game out on Kickstarter, just finishing up at that time, and a couple other games. So I am looking forward to that. So yeah, we're going to say, Steve, we're going to save mine for another time. We got plenty more that he can torture me at a different time. All right, board gamers, that is it for another episode of Gumbo Live. I want to thank Jeremy, the Game Geek Ninja, for coming in and helping me with the top 10 and the top 5 of the Gateway and Filler Games of the Year. That's Reef and Sprawlopolis, right?
Yep.
If people want to reach you, how can they find you, Jeremy?
Most of the time I'm on Twitter. I'm on at Game Geek Ninja. I'm also on Facebook and Instagram that way, but not as many people interact with me there. So hit me up on Twitter. That's the easiest way to get in touch with me. And we'll talk about games.
Make sure to like our Facebook page, facebook.com/BoardGameGumbo. It helps us get all the word out of the upcoming shows, including our buddy Stephen Bonacore, Stronghold Games, who's going to finish out the season strong next week. He's got a bunch of games that are coming out in 2019, so I can't wait to talk to him. I am BJ from Board Game Gumbo. And until next time, Jeremy, laissez le bon temps rouler.